Okay, the first of the short list of final nominees. When you hear your name on the list, if you can just start coming up towards the front. I have to say that I found Eve Inglezos and Josh Moutre's second issue of Ice Cream Landia to be an amusing and enjoyable experiment in full-page advertising style illustrations, wonderful fake television game show inserts, and post-irony non-sequitur monologue narration. Not postmodern, post-irony. These books are so good, I figured they need their own cutting-edge descriptive jargon terms, so I came up with post-irony. Of course, with my luck, it will turn out that Britney Spears has decided to call her next album Post-Irony, and that'll be the end of that. But for now, here in the moment captures the full flavor of these esoteric and engaging graphic narrative bonbons. See, I just made up another cutting-edge descriptive jargon term. There's also a first and third issue that are just as funny, which can be purchased individually or as part of an attractively boxed set. I won't tell you which one has the nude photo, so you'll have to buy all three. Ladies and gentlemen, Eve Inglezos and Josh Moutre. Sorry, it's the price of doing business.
Thank you very much, first of all. This is cool. I hope you guys can come and say hi to us at our table. We know absolutely no one, so.
Thank you.
Where's it located?
142.
Thank you.
Quoting from the next shortlist nominee, "Man, my kids hate me, my wife left me, my Star Wars collection won't sell on eBay, and the strength needed to lift this bottle to my lips escapes me. Life has finally hit rock bottom." So begins Anton Bogaty's Justin's Big Chance, just one of the great strips in Slam Bang #7 from Fan Addict Press. We also have a nomination plaque for the publisher. It's a very funny strip about a no-good given another chance to redeem himself, and then another, and then another. And boy, can Anton draw a pretty girl like nobody's business. It really is the most amazing 9-page story, and makes us both hope that he's got a graphic novel in the works, featuring lots of pretty girls. Ladies and gentlemen, Anton Bogaty and Fan Addict Press. That happen before.
We'll take these to their table.
We'll take this, yeah. We'll all go over it. And the next shortlist nominee, Tanya Walden's Maxwell the Demon appeared as part of the Hell half of the Heaven and Hell combined issues #6 and 7 of Attic Wit. A 220-page trade paperback with a flip cover, one half heaven, one half hell, with some of the stories continuing from one half into the other, as does tend to happen. Tanya Walden has been doing great comics a long time and recently contributed to Once Upon a Time and the Ink #2, mini comics in Australia, where she lives. Editor Matt Dembicki will accept both awards, so let's welcome him up.
Thank you for this award. And, obviously, Tanya is not able to be here. She's in Australia. But I wanted to present you with something that she sent. This is actually from the first, this is her submission. She sent a CD. And when I got it in the mail, I thought it was kind of a cool little case, kind of clunky. I was trying to open it, couldn't open it. I figured there must be a little hitch or something to it. And then I realized that it's melted. So I sent her an email and asked her if she could send me another copy, and she said, well, you didn't get it? I go, well, I think this, the Postal Service lost this in the desert somewhere in Australia because it's melted and I need another copy. So this really, truly went through hell to get here. So that is you, and you can think of all the hard work she's done for this award. So thank you.
That's good. That is true, it's melted. Check that out. You have to have a really good computer. Yeah. I have to say that I was genuinely surprised by Point Pleasant #1, which is our next shortlist nominee. A sincerely haunting and well-crafted piece by Chad Lambert with art by Steve Black, Brian Scott, Dan Barlow, and Jason Moser. Surprised because I'd only known Chad's work previously from his appearance as a Day Prize shortlist nominee in 2003 for Possum at Large. This story, which ranges from the year 1777 to the present day, and to the year 2753, uses the historic and tragic collapse of the Silver Bridge in West Virginia in 1967 with the paranormal Mothman sightings the same year in a beautifully coordinated effort which smoothly blends the work of all 5 creators that worked on it. I hope at least some of them are here today to help Chad carry these out of here. Come on up, Chad, and let's hear it for him and his Point Pleasant. All right. We'll just do them one at a time.
On December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge connecting Ohio to West Virginia fell into the Ohio River due to structural failure. And I wanted to base my book around a very, very serious, true event. So I went to Point Pleasant, and I walked around for a couple of days, and I took pictures, and I interviewed eyewitnesses, and did some research, and I went to the area where the bridge used to be. And there's an empty opening where you can stand where the bridge ramp used to be. And I stood there for about 10 minutes, and I kind of just took in the emotion of being there and what that must have felt like. And I realized at that moment that I had to do this right. I had to do this serious. I had to make it as believable and true as it really was. And it was at that moment that I realized that I might actually be a writer for feeling this. And then I also realized that I should have brought a notebook and something to write with to take notes on all this stuff because I didn't. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys, and I dedicate this to the people who survived that bridge tragedy and live and breathe today in Point Pleasant. Thanks.
We're looking for 5 volunteers to help Matt get On the Space website listing for Eric Casiano's Static Dreaming being selected as one of the Day Prize Final 4, I wrote a few pages into this one. I was thinking, this is really good. I sure hope he has a good ending on it. And he sure did. I don't want to add too much to that because I might spoil the ending, but let's just say that Eric isn't a really big fan of television as a medium, and he does a very effective job of explaining why with Static Dreaming. It's a very interesting and accomplished 22 pages that goes by in a hurry, that stays with you for a long while after reading. If he's here, please welcome to the stage Eric Casiano.
This is really, really cool and really unexpected. Thank you very, very much.
Just pretend you're giving the speech over.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. This is really
This many months after selecting J. Chris Campbell's Zigzag #1 as one of the shortlist nominees, I still can't remember where I've seen his The Attic Bugs before, but I have to tell you that this is sincerely funny material. Not only that, but it's in full color. I can honestly say that J. Chris Campbell would have made the final four even if Zigzag had been in black and white. Among the other titles he's produced, J. Chris Campbell numbers It's the Attic Bugs #1 and 2, Gunk, Mail Stop, So, Save Me, Stop, Drop and Roll, Travel, Quitter, Wonky Jog, and with Terry Cronin, Recalcitrant Jones, and the Deadbeats, among his accomplishments. He was selected by upstate South Carolina's The Beat magazine as Best Local Artist in their Best of the Beat Readers poll. Please welcome J. Chris Campbell and editor Chris Pitzer from Ad House Books.
Yeah. Perfect. This is awesome. Yeah, Chris Pitzer couldn't be here. He's in Virginia. But this is, great to be nominated for this. And Chris Pitzer saw my mini comic stuff and wanted me to do the full story of that at once. And we're hopefully going to do 6 of the Zigzags, which has Attic Bugs in it. And number 2 should be out in the year. And this is just a great honor to be, recognized for the work that I've done. Thanks again, I appreciate it.
And that brings us to the culmination of the program, the recipient of this year's Howard E. Day Memorial Prize. I really couldn't disagree more with A. David Lewis's perspective on Exodus and the Quran. It seems to me that all attempts to diminish the divinely inspired to the merely human, and to submit oneself to the perennial seduction of Egypt's poisonous trappings, whether in ancient days or in the 21st century, well, it would be hard to imagine anyone who would rather, having experienced both firsthand, be ruled by 21st century Cairo than any 21st century democracy. Still, the protection of multiplicity of viewpoints is the core of what we are, and the core of what we are fighting to advance, to entrench, and to maintain around the world. In the face of the contrary impulse, which has always found a home in Egypt. And that advancement, entrenchment, and maintenance has to include what I personally see as misguided and unfounded romanticism, if it is to have any meaning whatsoever. Although I am mostly Muslim and have been since 1999, I cannot share the viewpoint of Muslims which we have seen exhibited so dramatically in recent months. That the pictorial portrayal of God's prophets and messengers is something that should be forbidden. It can be cautioned against, and in my own case, it is an untenable creative decision for me personally. But that's a very different thing from compulsion for or against. Likewise, it would seem anathema to the history of the democratic impulse and the protection of the right of free speech for me as the composer of the shortlist for the Day Prize this year to either refuse to read a book like The Lone and Level Sands, because it is a retelling of the story of Moshe and Aaron from what its author believes to be Pharaoh's side, or to dismiss the book itself with its gorgeous front and back covers and its spare graphic style, the work of artist M.P. Mann, which neatly complements its austere treatment of its subject. A graphic novel that, in the words of its back cover copy, quote, tells the story of a man trying to rule wisely, love his family well, and deal justly in the face of a divine wrath. There is always the danger that as a fully liberalized Westerner, I might have been erring on the side of overcompensation, nominating an inferior work as a means of demonstrating that I'm not prejudiced against it. The fact that the Lone and Level Sands was unquestionably Gerhard's first choice in his capacity as the selector of the Day Prize recipient for 2005 would seem to indicate to me, and I hope to all of you, and most particularly to A. David Lewis and M.P. Mann, that that was very much not the case. And so I'm pleased that in addition to saluting this thought-provoking and carefully crafted work, that we are also acknowledging the genuine Lone and Level Sands in our democratic society, which will always favor the protected free speech of everyone, regardless of personal belief and personal preference. Please join us in welcoming to the stage A. David Lewis, the writer of the 2005 Day Prize recipient, The Lone and Level Sands. Thank you very much, and that's the Howard E. Day Memorial Prize ceremony for another year. We hope you all come back next year and see who the nominees are that time. Thanks very much for your time and your attention. There's one more prize to give out, though. Don't move. Don't move. Everybody sit back down. Mr. Thorby has one more prize to
Every year for the last 2 years, 3 years now, we've given a Space Lifetime Achievement Award to somebody who we thought went above and beyond Call of Duty when it came to small press comics. First year was Dave Sim, who, of course, the epitome of small presser. Second year was Matt Pizzell, who everybody knows. Everybody knows who Simple Man is, although Matt has rarely moved beyond the mini comic. This year, I think when I asked Matt last year, I said, Matt, who do you think we should do next year? And he just said Tim. And I said, Matt, that he was there. He was in the back. He was there in my mind to do this. So, Tim. If you read the program, and unfortunately we have to figure out a way to do that tribute program without giving away the surprise. We've done it 2 years in a row now, where Tim caught on a little early. But if you read what we wrote there, that is absolutely true. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Tim Corrigan. Tim, that was my first time I found out that there were other people who produced their own comics, and just there was that culture out there where people the same as me who just needed to create. And I don't think I would have found that. I don't think I would have done what I've done with my comics. I don't think I would have started this show had Tim not put the bug there in the first place.